WWE Bad Blood had insane surprises, some pretty good returns, and it had a ton of blood, man. So let's get into the review for WWE Bad Blood. Now, the story of this PLE to me is the beginning and the end, man. Starting with Punk vs. Drew, which we're going to get to in a second. Don't worry about that. And the ending of Roman Reigns and Cody versus the New Bloodline, and that amazing return from the final boss. The Rock is back. Well, we're going to get to that later. I don't think he's fully back, but you get what I'm saying, right? Other than that, the stuff that was in between both of those matches and those segments was pretty questionable and mid and even bad at times, so we're going to get to that too. But let's start off with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. This match was actually very solid in my opinion. I thought it was pretty good. This match had insanity. It had blood. Well, obviously it's the fake blood, you know what I'm saying? But it's still blood, you get what I'm saying in the wrestling terms. It had good spots like that table spot as well, where Drew slammed Punk through that table. It looked gnarly. Drew McIntyre almost dang near looked like he cracked his back in half by landing on those steel steps and missing the Claymore. You also had the stuff where they were using wrenches, they were using chains on the GTS, the Claymores out of nowhere. It was very good, man. It really did culminate as what felt like a true Bad Blood feud, man. The long-term storytelling worked for this, at least to an extent. I mean, the last month or two, the story has gotten dry, but this specifically was a great culmination for the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feud, man. It had good spots, like I said, the storytelling too with the AJ Lee bracelet thing, the beads that Drew McIntyre threw down, and then Punk threw them at Drew and then hit him with the GTS on the chain, I mean, it was awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie. And throughout this match, you could really see the exhaustion, the torment, the stuff where CM Punk dang near jammed the table rung through Drew McIntyre's face. This was intense. It was action-packed pretty much. It was slow in parts, but it was action-packed. It had a ton of blood with people getting cut open the entire time. This was pretty cool, man. I mean, WWE hasn't done something like this in a while, so it makes it all the more better when they finally pulled out the Hell in a Cell and pulled out blood and, insanity and hardcore stuff. And I have to give respect to CM Punk and to Drew McIntyre, but CM Punk, I make fun of his stamina and all this other stuff, which at the end of the day, I mean, his conditioning is not what it was. He's not the same that he was in the ring, all right? He's moving a little bit slower. He has a limited move set now, and he does a lot of repetitive moves. He doesn't have the versatility anymore, and he's also not like a great seller anymore because he's older, but he fought hard tonight. He drove really, really hard in this match, man. He even needed an oxygen tank at the end. This got insane, dude. He did good in the ring tonight. Drew McIntyre did good in the ring, and they both put their bodies on the line to give us an epic culmination to this feud that actually ends up being good. It's going to be looked back on as an awesome feud overall. So this was very good. CM Punk got the W by the end of it. He closes the Hell in a Cell door and walks off, man. This match had it all for the Hell in a Cell, and honestly, in the last decade or in recent history, this is probably the best or one of the better Hell in a Cell matches in the last decade or so, because I can't really remember many memorable ones. So yeah, that's kind of the situation with that. Punk vs. Drew, very, very good start to the show, and I see how people thought this could have main evented, because it could. The story was there, and the match quality that we got in the Hell in a Cell was very, very good. I really liked this match. And quickly before we get to the Nia Jax vs. Bayley match, as I'm recording this, information just came out that Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes at the press conference after Bad Blood. So I guess they're setting up something with KO and Cody down the line, so that whole build up to him turning heel has officially happened, I guess. So yes, Kevin Owens apparently attacked Cody Rhodes, so I guess we'll talk about that later in the review or in another video, but yeah, that happened. Next was Bayley versus Nia Jax, and this was just a straight up botch fest from start to finish. You had the botched Hurricane Rana from Nia Jax. You had Bayley's botched dive outside of the ring. You also had the simple fact that Nia Jax, for some odd reason, and Bayley in this match, they were just not connecting on moves, and some of the moves just didn't feel fluid outside of the first few minutes of this match, and that was disappointing. I think their SummerSlam match was much better, and we already knew the story of this match. Tiffany was going to obviously come out, fake like she was going to cash in and not do it, and then Nia Jax was going to win. I predicted this, I knew this was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. There's not really much else to say about this match. It's not even as good as their match at SummerSlam, which wasn't even amazing. It was just a good match. This couldn't even live up to that, so this was embarrassing. Tiffany is kind of still plotting on Nia. I don't get that, because Nia should be upset. Her friend's trying to cash in on her multiple times. Why is Nia being painted as a villain here? I don't know, but that's pretty much the situation. Tiffany doesn't cash in, Bayley loses to Nia Jax, and that's the end of the story. Next was Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, which actually I would deem as pretty much meaningless or kind of pointless, but it did serve a purpose for this PLE, I'll say that, and the in-ring work was actually pretty decent between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Finn Balor came out dressed up as I don't even know, bro. This dude came out with a full-on mask on. This guy's covering his face, and he basically walked down to the ring. He fought Damian Priest. Damian Priest had some really crazy strikes here in this match. Like, it was some good selling by Balor to kind of make the moves, put the moves over. Damian Priest is developing in the ring. It seems like every match, like, he's just getting better and better. He's a very good in-ring worker. Finn Balor is obviously good in the ring, and they did a solid job here. You had the coup de grace. The Judgment Day intervened, like Carlito and JD McDonough came in for a second in the match, but Damian Priest ultimately pulled out the W. I thought Finn Balor was going to win this match, right? Because it's like, now that Damian Priest has won, where does this feud even go from here? But it served its purpose. Damian Priest wanted to get his hands on Finn Balor. Finn Balor wanted to get his hands on Damian Priest. They finally did it in what ended up being a decent match that probably could have happened on Raw, to be honest with you. But it was decent in the ring. It served its purpose. Again, it didn't need to be on Bad Blood in place of like Carmelo versus Andrade, or like LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes or Andrade or something like that. You could have had a match like that on here instead, but it served its purpose. It's decent. I don't know what else to say about it. And next is what I believe is the worst match of the night, most likely, and that's Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. I have been on the hill saying that Liv Morgan is overrated, and so is Rhea Ripley. And this match proved it. There was a botch so bad in this match that Liv Morgan literally ran after Rhea Ripley's knee, right, and completely missed it. Missed it by a landslide. And Rhea Ripley doesn't move at all, and then Liv Morgan has to re-go after the knee again. It's like, what is this? You also have the fact that Liv Morgan maybe had like, what, 2 good moves this entire match. Rhea Ripley didn't really do much of anything as per usual in her matches. She just came out, hit a couple suplexes, and, she had a nice little dodge or reversal at some point, and then she didn't even hit the Riptide no, she did hit it on Liv outside the ring. And then Dominic Mysterio in this match, he's floating down from this the floating cage. He breaks through, falls down, gets his leg stuck, and then Rhea Ripley goes in to hit him with a kendo stick, right? She's bashing him. And another thing I thought was stupid about this situation is that during the match, Rhea just goes up to the ref, because he's got like the little ref cam on the back of his ear, and you can literally see her and hear her say the words, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to give me a couple minutes out here while I'm beating up Dom, okay?" And the ref's like, "Yeah, you deserve that." And the ref just doesn't count outside of the ring when Rhea leaves the ring. It's like, what? She just gets to bend the rules because she asked him a question and told him she was going to go beat up somebody, so yeah, you just get infinite time outside the ring. I'm not going to do my job because you said so. What? And all of that. But then all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley gets hit in the back. And the way that the camera does it, man, it's just, the ending of this match was so weird, dude. Raquel Rodriguez returns, right? Cool, I guess, but the audience gave zero reaction to this moment. There was no pop when Raquel Rodriguez, and again, no pop, you know what I'm saying? Raquel Rodriguez comes out and there's no pop, there's no reaction, so it's just odd. And the way the camera panned, you couldn't really see what happened to Rhea. She just kind of falls to the ground, and then Raquel's revealed and no one gives any reaction at all. So this is just weird. It was awkward. Rhea Ripley didn't really have much good offense in this match. Same with Liv Morgan. It was just a filler match, and the main attraction was Dom floating up in a cage when it should be the Women's World Heavyweight Championship and the feud between Rhea and Liv. Instead, it's more about Dom and him being in a cage, and then some random person like Raquel Rodriguez showing up who has nothing to do with the feud, and she just ruins it, man. It was like the booking, the in-ring work, the story leading up to it too, because the story for Liv and Rhea, in my opinion, the last month or two has been pretty dry, and then to get this as the final result, it wasn't cooking. This was probably the worst match of the night, and I thought the ending was bad and the actual match itself was below mid. And lastly was the main event. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus the New Bloodline, and we got to talk about these entrances. Cody Rhodes' entrance was surprisingly awful. He had the people who did like the performance at some college game in Georgia a couple months ago or something like that. They performed his entrance, and the saxophone stuff before his entrance happened was fine, but then they had to play Cody Rhodes' intro like the boom, boom, wrestling has more than one royal family. Boom, boom, wrestling has more than royal family. Because they messed up the timing and the cueing, I guess, of, the band playing their instruments and Cody coming out. And it was just very awkward. It made it weird. And then when Cody came out, he got a decent pop, but not as loud as it normally is, because maybe the audience was confused a little bit. But Cody basically comes out, does the whoa, and there's just this off-tune saxophone playing while he's coming out, and it just doesn't work for me, bro. Like, I was or trumpet playing, I should say. I was watching, so I was like, why is this so offbeat? Why does it feel so awkward? Why is the crowd not reacting as much? And it just kind of all contributed to the entrance not being very good. And then Roman Reigns comes out. He's got a whole band lining up in the the alleyway as well, the ramp leading up to the ring, and in the side he's got people playing the drums. He gets a great pop from the fans, and the whole time he's walking down to the ring, they're all chanting OTC, OTC. And Roman looks bare, dude, without a title or the Ula Fala. Like, it just looks off seeing him like that, because for the last 4 or 5 years we've seen him with a title or with a Ula Fala or something like that, or with a vest, in 2019 when he was still had like the Shield attire kind of. Like, it's crazy seeing this dude like this, but the reactions Roman Reigns is getting are insane. In Cody Rhodes' hometown of Georgia, the crowd when Cody Rhodes was in the ring in this match was chanting, "We want Roman." You know what I'm saying? When Roman was in the ring, they were just chanting OTC, let's go. You know, they were saying, oh, 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 on every move he did, every punch, every hit. Like, it's insane, dude. In Cody's hometown, as the WWE champion, he entered first in the match on his team. That lets you know something right there. If there's ever a debate who the biggest star is or whatever, Roman is the WWE champion without the belt. We all know it. He's the biggest star in the company. The entrance proves it. The crowd reaction in Cody's hometown proves it. When you're the WWE champion and you're going out first in your own tag team, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Put the fries in the bag, you're washed. Anyways, the actual match itself honestly was a little bit slow to start. And this wasn't a technical marvel. It wasn't like Street Profits versus the Usos, where they're doing crazy splashes and Montez Ford's losing his mind. None of that stuff. But with Bloodline matches, it's all about the story and the epic climaxes of these matches. And so the first 10 to 15 minutes, crowd is losing it for Roman Reigns to enter the match. Jacob Fatu did some good work with the pop-up power slam. I think Fatu and Solo did a good job here because Solo playing his role of being that tribal chief who's talking a bunch of trash while the match is going on really works for this guy. Like, he was saying, OTC my butt, you know what I'm saying? Sit down, what now? Raising up the ones and getting booed. The crowd's chanting F you Solo. It was very good. He did a good job. Jacob Fatu was a beast in this match as well. He didn't really do a lot of anything, obviously, but the stuff that he did do that required a good skill set, he did those moves and executed them. Cody Rhodes hitting that massive splash to the announce table on Jacob Fatu was very good. Roman Reigns then, charging up for the Superman punch, and then he gets interrupted by the new Bloodline members like Tama Tonga Tongaloa, and then he finally gets the spear off on Solo, and you get 1, 2, 3. Like I said, not a technical marvel. However, before we got to the 1, 2, 3 count, Jimmy Uso officially came back, man. When Tongaloa and Tama Tonga came out to try and interrupt the match, Jimmy Uso showed up in like the bandana covering over his face like at SummerSlam last year. He pulls the bandana off and he's back, man. He does a crazy facial expression, hits those super kicks on the Tongans, comes in, costs Solo a little bit, and then Roman comes in and spears him, and then you get your 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy Uso's return was awesome. He got a great pop. It's great to see him back. And after this match ended, Cody Rhodes kind of disappeared for the last 4 or 5 minutes of the match because this really is more about the bloodline, obviously, in that whole situation. This match was done for Roman Reigns and for Jimmy Uso and for eventually the final boss, which we're going to get to in just a minute. After this match ends, Roman and Cody kind of have like a face down. They look at each other like a stare down kind of, right? And then Roman nods his head, walks out, and then after that, all the Tongans and the new bloodline came back in and assaulted Cody and stuff like that. And Jimmy basically tells Roman, hey, man, you gave him your word. We got to help him out. Uso, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy doing the funny hand movements and the facial gestures, all that stuff, the dialogue. They basically do that. Roman and Jimmy turn around to go help Cody Rhodes against the new bloodline, man. They fend him off. Roman stares down Cody again and looks at the title. And then boom, dude, if you smell the Rock, the final boss officially comes back, man. I absolutely ginormous pop The Rock got, dude. This dude is a megastar. We already know this. He's worldwide, Mr. Worldwide, like Pitbull, you know what I'm saying? The Rock comes out there, gets a huge pop, and he holds up this logo like he did one time, and he goes like this, basically saying that Cody's done, but he's looking at the title. He wants it. Roman wants the title. Cody's obviously trying to defend the title, right? So it's all going to be 3 of them wanting the title. I'm sure The Rock is just doing this kind of as just like a reminder that, hey, the final boss is still here, and I'm lying and waiting for my turn. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here, and I'm coming. You know what I mean? The Rock was kind of doing that, but at the same time, I don't think The Rock is going to show up on like the next SmackDown or the next Raw or anything like that. This was just a tease of something to come for potentially Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania season. You know what I'm saying? But it was awesome to see The Rock. It was an epic ending. The Jimmy Uso showing up and hitting the super kicks was also epic. Cody splash through the table was epic. Roman Reigns, every move he did, the crowd was so into this match. It was awesome. So I thought this main event was great. Not a technical marvel where you're doing moves through like, moonsaults and all this other aerial stuff, but it was a good match because of the star power that was in it and the excellent ending. Quickly as well, during this PLE, Triple H made a special announcement, and that special announcement was the fact that we are going to be getting a Crown Jewel Championship, and this is basically going to be for the the top champion. So basically, Gunther as the world champion, if he's the world champion by Crown Jewel, he will be fighting Cody Rhodes in a champion versus championship match for neither of those titles, but for the Crown Jewel Championship. And whoever wins that match wins that title and keeps their title, obviously. And even if they lose, they don't lose their title, obviously, either. But you get the point. It's basically just for this big Saudi Arabian Crown Jewel title, and it looks absolutely sick. The diamonds are glistening. The design is very good. It's a bigger title. It looks really nice, right? But the problem is, you're going to also have a match with Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan, because those are the two women's champions, and it's like, why couldn't this just be an announcement of the women's mid-card championship? You get what I'm saying? You have so many different mid-card women that have nothing to do and nothing to fight for. You could have introduced that and then do a tournament leading up to Crown Jewel, and then eventually a woman can win that mid-card belt. Instead, we just get a Crown Jewel championship, and we're going to get Cody versus Gunther at Crown Jewel, it looks like, or Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan as well. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this. You get a Crown Jewel title, it looks good, but no one's going to use it because it's just a one-time match that happens once a year from now on, I guess, for the Crown Jewel Championship. So it's like, what is the point of this? I don't know. Kind of bummed out. Goldberg did say, though, to Gunther, he was like, "You're next, boy." So who knows what's going to happen with that, but there you go. That was the whole segment. And like I referenced, Kevin Owens did beat up Cody Rhodes or attack him, so you have that situation brewing as well. Overall, I mean, I don't know what to say about Cody Rhodes right now, man. I don't know if this dude's going to end up actually going in and, fighting against Kevin Owens, or Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes clashing at Crown Jewel. I guess not, because he's fighting Gunther now, so you ruin that. But you could also have Kevin Owens fight Cody in an episode of SmackDown, or maybe at Survivor Series. I don't know what's going to happen with that situation, but Kevin Owens did attack this dude, so that's setting up Kevin Owens' future heel turn, and I guess the title picture for Cody is going to be consumed by Kevin Owens, I guess, in the near future. Overall, I think this PLE, like I said, was summarized by the beginning and the end. Punk vs. Drew was very, very good, and the ending of Roman and Cody versus the Bloodline was exciting. It was entertaining. The crowd was super into it. There was good star power. There's an epic last 10 minutes, like, finish of the match, the storytelling and everything. Jimmy and Roman hugging, obviously, and then you had the return of The Rock, which was unexpected and was an epic way and an awesome way to cap off the show. I would say Bad Blood overall, though, was very mid, because outside of the beginning and the end, everything in between on average was like mediocre or below mid. It was honestly pretty bad at certain points, especially with the women's matches, right? But Finn and Damian had a decent match. Rhea and Liv, I thought, was bad booking wise and was mediocre in the ring. And then Nia and Bayley was just mid from top to bottom. But those are my thoughts on Bad Blood. Bad Blood was not bad per se, but it definitely wasn't good. Middle of the road show, but it is what it is. I know people are going to have a lot of fun with some of the stuff that happened in this one, man. So let me know what you thought about Bad Blood in the comment sections below. And as always, I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Peace out.